Hey friends, guess what? I have a secret for you. I have another book coming out. I could not be more excited to make this video for you guys today. I have been waiting and waiting and waiting for this day, and it's finally here, and I'm so excited I can't handle it. So let's talk about my newest book, which is going to be coming out. We have a release date. I'm going to be revealing the cover for you today. It is going up all over all of my social media platforms. The pre-orders for the paperbacks are going live on my website. So let's break it down. Since 2020, I will have released 3 books when this next one comes out. The first one was Phased, book 1 of a duology that is a dark paranormal story about 2 werewolf sisters who have to fight for their lives to assimilate into human society. It's kind of a flip on the werewolf trope. There's no toxic romance, and it is just tooth and claw action, deep found family and sisterhood bonds, and so many people have been falling in love with this story since 2020. Then in November of 2023, I came out with The Bloodstones, book 1 in my Legends of the Bruhai dark epic fantasy trilogy. This book is my love letter to all of the tragic heroism stories that I have loved since I was very young. It's a love letter to all of the things I love most about fantasy and epic fantasy and military fantasy. This is a fantasy story that is for the character-driven reader because I pour everything into my characters. I love these characters so much. This story means the absolute world to me, and I am so excited to get working on book number 2. However, today we are going to talk about my newest upcoming novel, which I wrote in 2024. To set the stage, we need to do a little bit of a backstory. In December of 2023, I was in an anthology that came out that was full of 24 indie authors' fantasy stories around the theme of winter, and that was called The Advent of Winter. I wrote a short story for this anthology called Cold Silver for Souls, and in it I introduced a necromancer bounty hunter and her animated corpse that she drags around everywhere with her on the trail of one of their most recent marks as they're going to chase him down in this frozen tundra. And I had an absolute blast writing that story, and I knew very quickly that I was going to want to expand Hunter's story into a larger novel. Cold Silver for Souls is now the first book in the Shade Silver series, and it is going to be kind of a nod to the serialized 50s, 60s, and 70s Western novels. It's episodic, it's a little bit shorter in length, and I do have a full series planned for it that is going to be following Hunter as our main first-person narrative protagonist through all of them as she assembles a motley crew and fights for justice in the wild Western Yukon Gold Rush inspired territories. It's also inspired by some of my absolute favorite Western films like 3:10 to Yuma, Young Guns, The Magnificent Seven, and many others that I have fallen in love with over the years. Western stories were always a big part of the culture of my family, whether that was written or on film or just in the family history in general. My great-grandfather was a horse trader who did saddle making and harnesses, and that's always been in my blood. So the chance to write a Western story like this has just been, it's been a long time coming, and I had so much fun with it, and I cannot wait to introduce you guys to these characters. Let's introduce the setting. The Territories is a wild, partially untamed area of land that is inhabited by people from multiple countries across the sea. It is inspired by the Wild West and the Yukon Gold Rush era, but it is set in a fantasy secondary world. So there are magical elements, there are characters within the story that have magical abilities, necromancy just being one of them. Hunter is our protagonist, and she tells us her story through a first-person intimate narrative that has an emphasis on found family, lone wolf and cub, and motley crew tropes. It wouldn't be a story of mine if it wasn't character-driven, so you can definitely expect that from this story. I love dealing with themes like found family and really digging into those character dynamics and the relationships between them. So without further ado, let's read the synopsis. Bounty hunter, necromancer, outcast. She goes on the hunt when the law doesn't want to get its hands dirty. Born and bred in the harsh northern winters, Hunter collects bounties on thieves and murderers for a handful of coin, dragging Rip, her animated corpse, behind her. Trust wears thin in the wild territories, and the law doesn't always land on the side of justice, or the side of a necromancer. When a wealthy shade silver baron blackmails her for a murder she didn't commit, Hunter takes on one last job. But instead of an easy payday, Hunter finds something she never expected, something that will tear open old wounds and set her on a path to find her own justice. This time, it's for someone else. The map that you guys saw earlier was done by the incredible Jack Shepard, who is a fantastic cartography artist. I am so grateful to him for bringing the territories to life in a style that really is reminiscent of the old prospectors and surveyors maps of the 1800s. It looks absolutely fabulous. And now let's get to the main event, shall we? Let's look at the incredible cover that I have been waiting to show you guys for months. Months I've been sitting on this cover, you guys, and I can't handle how good it is. The artist for Cold Silver for Souls was Helena Nicolina, and she absolutely blew all my expectations out of the park with her style and her color palette and the way she brought these characters to life on the cover. I love it so much. Without further ado, Cold Silver for Souls. Silver for Souls will be releasing May 27th of 2025, but now that the cover is revealed and out in the world, you can actually pre-order the signed paperbacks or the signed deluxe box with some extra goodies down in the description box below, right from my website. Please let me know if you have any questions, drop them down in the comments below. I am so excited to share this book with you, you guys. The deluxe boxes will include a full color postcard map of the territories print. It will also include a bookmark with the cover art on the wraparound, and it will also include a sticker of the chapter heading art, which you can see here by, again, the incredible, talented Dewey Conway. As we're getting closer to this book being released, I have to say a huge thank you to everyone who's been involved in the process so far. Everyone from my close writer friends who have been there and encouraged me and seen the roughest first drafts of this story and saw the diamond in the rough and helped me when I got stuck. Huge thank you to all of the incredibly gifted artists that have been involved in bringing my world to life. You guys are so insanely talented, and I'm so thankful to be able to work with artists like you. And finally, to all of my readers and the audience who has encouraged, supported me, read my books, watched my channel, I have nothing but thank you for you guys as well, because it's because of you that my books go past me. It's because of you that all of our books mean something outside of ourselves, and that is a really beautiful, beautiful thing. And I'm so grateful to everyone who has read my books up until this point, to everyone who will read Cold Silver now or in the future. Thank you. I'm so excited to bring you guys a new book. And if you're waiting for updates on the sequel to The Bloodstones, don't worry, because that is in progress and that is my next project. But for now, all the spotlight goes to Cold Silver for Souls. Fantasy Western, bounty hunter, necromancer, outcast, Hunter is coming to bookshelves near you May 27th of 2025. Thank you guys so much for all of your support. Once again, go down in the description box below. There are links to my website where you can purchase a signed pre-order copy that will be shipping out very shortly after the release date. More information on the website. Guys, thank you so much for all of your support. I wish you a wonderful week. I hope you are reading some 5-star reads, and I'll see you in the next video.